Hello, welcome to UnCut Juels. Tonight, we're going to have a very special guest, someone we adore and have had the chance to work with in the past. So we're psyched to have her on. Before that, I just want to take a moment and say, please, please, please. I know hopefully many of you are actually watching the, the debates. Yeah. But please vote. And hopefully you don't have any issues, but if you do, escalate them now so that we can make sure you can solve them and have your voice represented. It's probably more than ever just imperative. There's a lot going on. And it's been a minute. So that's where we are today. And then next week, we're going to have, I'm so excited, we're going to have Ruby Vell and Rune Westberg on to talk about Ruby's new single coming out next week. Called Straight Out the Mud. And she's been working on that for a minute. And we're so excited to have her first independent release happening. So it'll be fun. We're looking forward to doing that. And this Friday, if you haven't already, please, I'm going to ask you to pre-save Jessica Childress's new single, Walk With Me. It's going to be out on Friday. And we could use the support. As usual, the whole point to this is a community so that we can build together and make sure that we have a place in this world after COVID has struck us all in the, bizarre way that we have. So that's my goal. So that's that. We're really excited to have the guest we have tonight. She's so fabulous and so sweet and just a badass all around. Lindsey Compton, come on and join me. Yeah. Hey, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I'm really good. I'm good. We should ask, actually, let's just make sure, if there's anybody in the crowd at all, just make a little comment so we know that there's people and that this is actually working. Because I always forget to do that. And then I'm like, oh, wouldn't it be really weird if there was nobody there? Okay, but let's talk. How are you doing? So I know it's been a very just bizarre year, and I haven't seen you since. Okay, good, everybody's on. I haven't seen you in a minute, so I'm just curious. How you doing? You're all right? Everything feeling okay?
Hanging in. Yep. Down from Los Angeles. Yeah.
Okay.
How about you?
Oh, thanks for asking. I mean, we're okay. Lola's still hanging in there, so I'm pretty grateful. Thanks. Somebody thinks we look cute. It's me. It's my alter ego thinks we look cute. She's doing okay, and I'm grateful. I think this has been one of those years that I feel a sense of gratitude pretty much every day I wake up. I'm like, yes, okay, we're gonna do this. And I know that's why I always ask people how they're doing, because I know it's a tough time. But hopefully by now, I think 6 months in, and really no end in sight. I like to think we've got some silver linings.
Yeah.
Are there anything?
Yeah. Anyone I talk to has always been at this point, it's the best thing to happen.
Yeah, that we can get through it. Exactly. Yeah. Well, so tell us a little bit about you. So obviously we met a couple years ago with Hamish Anderson, and very excited that you became part of our family. And since we released Trippin' with you, what's been going on?
I released that song and video, and then have been working on more material, and then released another couple more songs, and just been writing a lot.
Oh, great. I think we're going to unpack some of the songs via videos tonight, so I'm excited to share those. I love your visual arts. There's just something about the way you create, just amazing. So let's get started. So where are you from? I know where you're from, but let's tell everybody where you're from.
I'm from Columbus, Ohio, a little bit.
Ohio!
OH!
That's awesome. I know at one point I think half of our team was from Ohio too, and I'm from Pennsylvania, so I was like, represent.
I've met so
many when did you
from Ohio out here? It's like mafia.
Oh, I bet. That's crazy. When did you move out here?
In 2012. This actually 8 years ago from September.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. That's great.
Yeah.
So do you like it?
Oh yeah. LA's cool. I mean, it took a minute to find your clique, but it's been great.
I hear you. That's good. So, okay. So like when you were growing up, were there like musicians or bands that inspired you or people that you were like, maybe even before you knew you wanted to do music, like just inspired you as like who you are?
Yeah, I mean, bands and musicians. I grew up like listening to like Dolly Parton, old school country, and so that was big. I think I was like singing Dolly Parton songs from as young as I can remember. Um, and then I had older brothers and sisters too, so they were like listening to hip hop and like early Madonna. So they passed that down to me, which was cool. So I have like eclectic group of music I was listening to from a young age.
And when did you start songwriting or singing or what was your first thing?
Singing. I was in like cover bands. My mom gave me a fake ID to like go play music with like a bunch of old people.
Shout out, Mom.
Yeah, she's pretty badass.
That's funny.
Yeah, so that was like, that kind of started like 12, 13, and I was in choir, and then started writing like really right before I moved to LA. I started writing hooks for rappers.
For rappers. Okay, so it was the hooks that you were really doing. Got it. Anything in particular that you want to shout out at that time?
I mean, nah.
Nah. What was your first release?
My first, I did a song with a producer here. It wasn't my release, but it was for a rapper, a reggae artist on Ute, and it was like a Pitbull feature, and that was right when I moved to LA. And then my first release was Trippin' with you.
I know. I have trick questions. That was such a fun time. Okay, but before we go there, I just want to ask one question because I forgot to ask this the last time, and I really like on my last guest, but I'm curious. What was your first memory for music?
I remember my first memory.
Like what would like your first memory, musical memory?
I remember like playing. I remember I wanted to be a drummer, like somewhere between 3 to 5. Like I don't know how do you start remembering things?
Like around then.
Yeah, and so I was just always blasting that Christmas song, "Little Drummer Boy," but it was by Dolly Parton.
Aw, David Bowie did a version of that. Bing Crosby.
It's
so good.
I know.
Oh my God, it's a great song. That's a good one. Good memory. That's a good memory. Okay, so let's get into the process that's happening. So you basically started releasing material, some songs. Obviously, we did Trippin', and I think we have the video. Do we have the video queued up? Because maybe we can show a little bit. Like I was saying before about the aesthetic that you are bringing to everything. That was the thing that impressed me the most. Like the minute I saw your stuff, it was like every single piece had a design aesthetic that came through with it. And it was so of you. Like it was just so rich. And I mean, and it's funny, you must feel like it's an alter ego because you're very demure and chill in person, but like these things reveal quite a bit about you. You want to talk about it?
Yeah, I mean that's kind of how I write songs is if it looks kind of like cinematic. So every song or every video would just be a character. And yeah, definitely alter ego. But yeah, visually, I just want to, it's kind of like mini movies with the movie.
I love it. I mean, these are just, I mean, listen, if you guys haven't seen this, you have to go and watch it. I know didn't you recently get rid of the Bronco?
I did, yeah. But she's still in the family. She's
okay.
She's still in the family, yeah. But
yeah, look at her.
And I learned to go.
Oh my God, these are the days before when you could not wear masks out in public. Oh, look at this, beautiful. Yeah, this was so much fun. I love this song. I love all of this. It's just so great. You're so funny.
Thanks. Fun fact,
and didn't
you fight in real life?
Did you directed that one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty badass.
With some
stuff.
friends, though, like my friends who worked on that were really, really awesome.
That's cool. So, okay, from here, so obviously we did Trippin', and then you started doing some other things on your own too. And then from there, where did it go? What was next?
So when I had Trippin', I have I have an EP of songs I just decided to release as singles, and then do a video for each of them. So I have 8 songs I'm going to release, and yeah, so then I released another song called Starstruck with the video.
Such a good song. And that video. Do we have that video? I'm not sure if we do. Did you release that? Yeah, you did. Yeah.
Yeah. It's on YouTube.
Oh.
Yeah. So that was super fun. That was with another really great group of people, and everything's just done super low budget and with good friends, and
but like, where did you? So like, is this isn't the same place? Is it the same place that you shot Trippin' in?
No.
So this is a different one. I know the Trippin' one was done in was it the Barbie house?
Trippin' was done in like a lot of places, like outside, obviously in LA, and then we drove up to the Madonna Inn.
Okay, that's right, the Madonna Inn. Yeah.
And then Starstruck was done, at Ragdoll Pink Palace.
That's the way. Yeah.
Yeah. Which the owner was super awesome. She then created like another space too. So yeah,
so fun.
Yeah, my friend helped me direct this one. Actually, he's a great friend of mine that I make art with a lot.
Nice. So how has your sound changed between these two? Like, so basically when you were doing all of this, did you do each song like at the same time? Did you record it with like a vision in mind? Like, was Trippin' and Starstruck meant to be together? Or were they just sort of like sporadically done?
I started working at East West Studio and made everyone there. We were like, it was like a time of being creative. And then I was also working with one of my friends from Ohio who was moving here. And it was just like night after night of like going into the studio and just messing around. And at that point I was really frustrated with like myself and producers that I was, currently working with. So it was an upgrade as far as the people.
Got it. Okay. To sell. So, okay. And then from Starstruck, you went into Make It Hurt, right? Is that the next up?
Yeah.
Make It Hurt.
And that was
I love that song.
Brandon, who's a producer here in LA. He's super tight.
Nice. And I think, so that video, I think we're going to roll too. So of these 3 that you've released so far, I mean, do you basically have like a single and then you have a video and then you have a single and a video? Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
So have you released the video for Make It Hurt yet? No.
I haven't, no.
Oh, that's the one. That's right. Okay, good. So when does that go out?
Sometime next month. Usually like, the last 2 have been just kind of like sporadic. Really, not Trippin', but Starstruck, I just kind of threw it up. But I think I'm going to release it sometime before Thanksgiving.
Okay. Well, that's great. Yeah. So, okay, so what's next? How is this going to go? Then you're going to do next, after this, you do the album, or are you going to save that for next year?
I'm going to release, the next song is called Everybody But You. And I'm going to release that. And then I just shot a video a couple weeks ago for that one. So then I'll release the video. And then next year I'll release a song. I'll keep going and then eventually put it out as an EP.
Okay. So overall, has it been like, have you noticed there's been like has it been building for you? Have you felt really good about it? I know, like I said, this has been a weird year, but I know you're still going through it. So obviously it doesn't feel like you should, you're not pausing like a lot of artists were pausing. You didn't pause.
Actually, I started getting more creative with the writing. I haven't like finished what I have like a notebook of songs written in quarantine. But they're all just kind of, I'll do a vocal, like a scratch vocal, and to a production. So nothing's like super finished, but I have many, many ideas that have been started. So yeah,
Okay.
quarantine's been awesome for creativity, actually.
Good. So basically 2020 is not all for naught.
No, it's the opposite, in my opinion.
Good. So are you able to like go in the studio and work with producers, or how does it work for you?
Yeah, I mean, eventually, I think maybe in July, things started to open up, being safe, of course.
Yeah.
Or I'll have like a writing session with one other writer. But a lot of times it's done over Zoom as well.
Oh, okay. And how do you like that?
I mean, it depends on the person, I guess. Like I have a girl I write with, one of my really good friends, Justine. We write all the time, and Zoom is like super easy. But if you're writing with somebody and you haven't caught a vibe in person for them or with them, it's a little trickier.
Mm-hmm. Mm. Yeah. And are you able, I know one of your housemates, I think, is a producer, right?
Yeah, he does electronic music.
Right. So basically you've been able to stay creative this whole time because you guys are probably just like plugging away at stuff.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Good for you. Yeah. I mean, it's weird how like some people just like, just can't do any, like they're really in a lockdown situation. And, Hamish is still on lockdown. I think it's 13 weeks now.
Damn,
in Australia. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We miss you,
Hamish. We miss you, Hamish. I know, it's so sad. It's hard, it's like we're so used to being able to travel and do all this stuff, so this has been it's a challenging year. Is
he hanging in? Is he able to write? Is he performing at all?
Yeah, I mean, well, he's definitely been performing. I think these live streams are interesting because obviously if you can perform with your instrument, I think in the beginning, the last few months has been at least that's redeeming, right? But if you need tracks or you need, certain things like, or sound design a certain way, like I know Ruby, we had some struggles in the very beginning about what are we, like, is it like vocals, and what's the next thing? It's an 8-piece band. What do you bring with you? You know what I mean? It's like, you just, all of those questions. And then you finally start and do it and you're like, okay, it's fine. I mean, I think now the question is going to be, how can you integrate the aesthetic and the sound so that it actually has a bit more of a feeling to it? And some artists are not going to be able to do that because they don't have the capabilities. And, so I think Hamish has been lucky, with the instrumentation piece. But I think, we work with this other band called the Gold Souls, and like they have a whole like setup studio that's designed for live streaming. And when they get on camera, you're just like, what? It's amazing. So some people like that, I think, are going to knock it out. The quality of the sound won't be sacrificed. Quality of the experience overall won't be sacrificed. It's just whether or not you can have a person in the room with you. So,
yeah.
And on the East Coast, I mean, Ruby's already done a festival in Alabama and a live show on Friday night in Atlanta. So it's mind blowing that some places are open and others are like, I don't leave my apartment unless I have to, really.
Right.
So I don't know. Yeah. So it sounds like 2020 hasn't been so bad. Has there been a highlight for you so far this year?
A highlight. Let me think about that. I mean, I think just for me, 2020 has made me really not give a fuck. Like, I really don't. Like, I used to.
You didn't give a fuck before.
I gave a little fuck, okay?
I remember writing that bio, and I was like, she doesn't give a fuck.
I mean, for the most part, yeah. But, like, I think maybe just with, like, confidence in myself with creativity. Mm-hmm. Like, I would do like sessions with people and feel Like, you know, a little bit uncomfortable and not uncomfortable, just like, I guess wanting to do a good job or, how do I say this? Yeah, just like kind of like more on edge, I guess. And now I just, you just like with creativity, you just spit out like everything.
Yeah.
And then that's why I love co-writing is because you just spit out everything and then it comes together in a way that's like way cooler and bigger than you thought it could in the beginning, I guess.
How are you finding your co-writing sessions?
I love them. And that's the thing
But
that's
like, how do they come to you? Are they like organized by, like, how are they coming in?
just by doing them more with other people or like reaching out to people online, on Instagram.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Yeah. You've always been very proactive about that.
Yeah. And I have a couple co-writers I work with regularly, which is cool.
That's great.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, I would say, it's the hardest part about this year is just finding the people who can be fluid with you. You know what I mean? Who can organize it and, get the thing done and not have the barriers, and it's definitely challenging, but I'm glad. It's great to see that you're able to do it all.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I saw something about, what is it? A movie you're doing? Is it Galaxy 9 something?
Yeah.
Yes.
No, that's totally fake.
I loved it. I was like, we were all like, yeah.
Oh my God. So that's not the whole poster, but my friend, my friend who I make art with a lot, Robert, and he made it for me, and he was like, "Oh, I can do a movie poster." He actually Robert made. We do a lot of art together. So when we were shooting, he made me like the front page of Vogue.
That's awesome.
So yeah, I'm actually in a movie.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, I think our team was like, what? Gotta put that in there. Okay, so outside of music, and all of the great things you've done during COVID, have you picked up a new product, a project, or like learned to do something that you didn't expect to do, or I don't know, any sort of like quarantining kind of learnings, revelations about yourself, gardening?
I do love to garden, but I love to garden before.
Lindsey, I have like 9 zucchinis growing upstairs right now.
What?
Yeah, it's crazy. Just on the terrace, like little baby ones. They're starting to grow though. We'll take a picture and send them to you. But yeah, something like that. So I'm curious.
Is that new during quarantine, or did you do that before?
Yeah. I mean, I had like a little garden, but like I went full on during, I was like, I'm going to eat what I grow.
Nice. I love that. Yeah. That's so cool.
Yeah, you'll have to come over.
Yeah, I started riding my bike. Like I remember the first week of quarantine, I rode my bike from downtown to the beach to El Segundo. So I started going on like really long ass bike rides. That's kind of like,
that's amazing.
Yeah, that's been super fun because I've gotten to like explore the city in a way that I've never seen it before.
Yeah, that's great. How dangerous does that feel? I mean, did you take surface streets? I've never ever thought to do that.
Well, the first week of quarantine, literally no one was on the road.
Oh God, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
But it's gotten busier, and then I started just kind of riding at non-traffic hours.
Yeah. I just wonder how many of us will be nostalgic for those first, like, I think about the first few weeks, really, like when I would walk down into Hollywood, because like, where I live, like right up Hollywood, and I would walk down, there's like no one on Hollywood Boulevard at all. Yeah. And it was just like this crazy silence and cool, just moments that you can have with LA, well, and I suppose anybody can have it with any town that they live in, but it, just to know that there's no one there. And I feel nostalgic for it. Now that I drive again, I'm like, where's all this traffic coming from?
No one on the 405 is like, kind of like, it's literally like heaven.
Yeah, exactly. You're like 5 p.m. and there's no issue. But I feel like I'm going to be nostalgic for that for sure. Like for the rest of my life, I'll be like, I remember when there was no one on this.
Never, it's probably never happened in the history of the 405 being built.
Yeah. I mean, I think a lot of places, like you see the city, like New York, Times Square. Oh my God. I mean, I don't think there's people there. I just heard today, and I'm not sure if it's true, but I did hear that they canceled New Year's Eve.
Oh, they did?
Officially. Yeah. I heard that was, I think that's done. So, yeah. But I mean, so that's crazy to think that'll be the first time since I can remember that nobody's going to be in New Year's, like in Times Square for like the New Year's.
Yeah.
Not that I ever did that when I lived in New York, but that's still nice to know that it's there being done. Okay. So obviously you're bike riding and all these great things. Now, are you like getting out? Are you going out? Are you doing things, or is it like going, like, I mean, obviously we can't go to shows or anything like that, but are you able to, like, do you leave the house, or are you like, yeah, you do.
Yeah. I mean, like with safety, obviously, like with a mask, but I'm not, like even in my car, like I'm not going to wear a mask in my car. No. Like when I'm alone, like I'm going to breathe fresh air. I'm not like crazy. I'm not crazy about it, obviously respecting other people and staying healthy.
Yeah.
But, I definitely haven't been crazy about it.
Good. Well, good. At least I don't have to worry about you.
Yeah, no, I'm good, girl.
Okay. So we're almost at the 30-minute mark. And before I want to make sure we get these last two questions in. So one is, if you're telling people like what to check out in you, what is your favorite, like, not favorite, but if you have a favorite lyric, that would probably be a good thing to know too. But like, if you have something you want to point people to, like, what's one song they have to listen to?
I have a song that I'm going to release soon called Problem, which might be, I always think like the last song that you do is always like the best or your favorite. So that's the last kind of like full production song that I've finished. And it's called Problem. And it's my favorite so far. So that one, I guess.
Well, okay. All right. So it's not out yet.
It's not out yet, no. But the music video for that is gonna be super tight.
Oh, all right. I'm into this. Yeah. So, okay. And then my last question for you is going to be, if you had to, like, if there was one song in the history of songs that you were like, God, I wish I wrote that, what would that be?
Okay, so it's definitely a Madonna song. It's probably a tie, because this is like the hardest question on the planet. It's probably a tie between Lucky Star or Vogue.
Oh, Lucky Star. Oh my, I mean, Vogue, yeah, but Lucky Star, that's like the thing that I don't know, I think of. I remember when that was I remember the first time I heard that. I remember the first time I saw that video. That video was just like mind blowing.
The bass line, like the whole thing is so tight. She's
so tight.
The best.
Was that Benny Medina?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I thought. Man, that was such a time for music and that production. Ugh, God, I remember. Talk about crazy. I remember being a kid and I was so convinced she was black. I swear to God, I was telling everybody. I was like 13. I'm like, oh no, she's this great. She's like new black singer, and I was like, what the fuck? She's like, couldn't be more. I had no idea. And that was right before, I guess, MTV was just starting. I was like, oh, I'm really wrong. And yeah, she was really
cool. Like city.
Yeah.
That's where she's from. So it doesn't like,
I know.
So much fun.
Yeah, man. She was like the whole club scene at the time was all the same. I mean, I was 5 years younger than that. I guess at that time I was 13. And I just remember it everywhere we went. It was, you must be my lucky star. Anyway, that was a time. Yeah. Good choice. It's been so fun asking people that question, because you get the most diverse answers. And I mean, I don't even know how I would answer it. So,
right. So
anyway, okay. I have no idea. I haven't even. Yeah, I'm not a songwriter though, so that's why, it's a lot easier when you're thinking of like, that's a song I wish I'd written. There's just so many of them. Like, I wish I'd written all of your songs. I wish I'd written all of Ruby's songs. I wish I'd written all of Hamish's songs.
Yeah,
I have so much. Okay, well, cool. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Is there anything else that I need to do? I know we got Sparkles in the background here waiting to hang out. She's So anything, I know we've got our matching unicorn.
They're like,
Can you guys see that?
Lovers or best friends.
That's hysterical. I love it. Sparkles is with me all the time now. But seriously, before I ping you off, is there anything else that we missed that you want to make sure we shout out? It's your time.
Now just follow me on Spotify, yo.
Oh, well, for sure. Okay, so definitely find her, please. She's so fabulous and so much fun. And it's great, like throw it on a playlist for when you're like, actually you need to run or energetically, like do workout or party. I know we don't do that anymore, but yeah, basically just make sure you're like, use her music. It's so upbeat. It's great. I have it on like gym playlists all the time. They're amazing. Not that I go to the gym either, but like when you hike, you know, the world's upside down right now.
Yeah.
But I'm very excited that you could come and hang out with us. And I'm hopeful I'll run into you at East West soon. I don't know. I'm working on some stuff.
Oh, cool. I can't wait. Yeah, well, let me know.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
I will. Absolutely. Well, we love you and good luck with everything. And let us know how things go and we'll just keep in touch. Don't forget us.
Yeah. You got to show me those zucchinis.
Oh, I will. I mean, they're insane. It's just, I've never seen a zucchini grow before. I don't know if you have, but I mean, I had a garden. I just I never paid attention to it until now. Now I'm like, that's how it works.
Nice.
So much fun. Anyway, okay. So follow her, all of the socials, and every time you have a chance, just like, please come by and say hi. We miss you.
Miss you. Thanks
for coming. And everybody else, thank you so much for joining us. We'll be back next week with Ruby Vell and Rune Westberg, and we'll be talking about Straight Out the Mud. And please, as I mentioned before, please make sure to go ahead and pre-save all of Jessica's stuff too, and anybody. And thank you so much for joining us. Have a safe week. Enjoy the debates, and we'll be back next week. Thank you.